Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? What's going on? So, as you can see, um, I've already done a few gestures, and the reason for that is because I wanted to get a warm-up in, because today I'm going to do a bunch of gestures, probably for like 30-40 minutes. I'm going to do gestures without reference, and then I'm going to take some time and do a few hands. So with reference, because I'm not going to subject myself to that. Trying to do stuff without, or hands without any kind of reference. So the plan is going to be, I'm going to put myself on a timer. What that is? For I think. Hey, good afternoon, Artistic Soul. I like that name. I hope that you're doing well. So yeah, I'm gonna. I probably could put myself on a 4-minute timer. So I am gonna edit the timer just slightly because right now it's at 3. So we'll do a 4-minute timer. See how well I can do. I haven't really done too many gestures without reference on stream, so I do it all the time, just like as I'm like kind of laying around in bed. But I just wanted to make sure that I gave it a shot here. So let's get started. Alright. So let's start with something a little more on the simple end, something I've drawn a few times. Hope that you're doing well, Artistic Soul. The reason too why I want to put myself on at least a bit of a timer is because I don't want to get into the habit of not drawing quickly enough when I'm doing stuff without reference, because I'll start to lose that fluidity that I have in my gesture drawing, and I don't want to do that because I've worked really hard to obtain it. Alright, so I'll start with something in my comfort zone. This leg. Oops. Here. Sorry, give me 1 second here. So like, I'm trying to notice things like, just like the relationships between different parts of the legs in particular right now. So the reason why I just erased what I had is because I was noticing that this segment was much longer than this segment, and now they're about the same size. White noise is intense. Oh, it's because of the here, let me put it on the other side. It's because of the air conditioner. Hopefully that's a little better. Yeah, it gets too high in here. I had to put in the AC. Thanks, Locke. And also, Locke, I hope that you're doing well. This arm I will place across here. Here. Alright, so I got about 30 seconds left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to like just solidify some of this stuff. Actually, I'm not. I'm just going to do that and maybe correct this calf muscle. And I don't want y'all to hear. Yeah. What kind of, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of medicine? You don't have to answer that on here. But, jeez, I hate my mouse sometimes. I need to get a new mouse. I know like ADHD medication has been difficult sometimes. Alright. So this is my first one. So now what I want to do is I just want to look and see what corrections, if any, I would make. I mean, this is pretty good. I definitely need to look at the legs for this one, and that's what I would do, like, if I were to put this, like, in a comic or something. Just because there's something just slightly off here. But, that's okay. This is a really good foundation. Yeah. Yeah, I had that problem with my Adderall recently as well. Alright, so that's one. Let's do the next one. Took me like a week and a half to get my medication, like probably like 2 months ago maybe. Alright, let's go for something slightly more challenging. Leg here. I could probably just go with it like this, and then I can have this part over here. Yeah, I don't know if you're able to like request it from your doctor or how you get yours, but what I do too is I wait until I have about a week's worth left, or even like 10 days worth, and then I'll make the request. Could probably make this fist bigger, so that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, this is from my imagination. I mean, this is a pose that I have drawn a few times, but this is from imagination. Like in memory, yeah. I can just put a basic thing here. My next thing that I'm going to study is feet. I need to put some time into my feet because they're pretty bad. Alright, so one thing I'm going to do is shrink the upper body a bit just to make it more proportionate. But, and you know what, just because this is a little flat right now, I'm going to have this leg go back into space a bit more than it is right now. pretty happy with this one. Could it be better? Yes, but overall, pretty good. I think it depends on what you want to do, Locke. Like, I would say, for someone like you, like, because I don't think, unless I'm mistaken, that you have any, like, intention on wanting to do, like, a comic or something like that. Actually, it depends. Like, for you, I think it would be worth it to, like, if you get a lot of requests from people to do, like, original characters, for instance, but they just want, like, a sheet, like a character sheet, then standing poses, yeah, you would want to memorize them. But if it's just, like, if you're just going to be doing specific poses for people that do commissions, like, hire you for a commission, then I would say, no, I don't know if you need to memorize poses. Just do gesture drawing with reference, and eventually you'll start to get the same kinds of requests, and you would be able to just memorize those poses via like actual practice. But I don't think it would be worth it for you. Like when you're doing a piece that's somebody's paying you for as well, you want to make it look as good as possible, so you would want to use reference as consistently as you can. Alright, alright, so what do I want to do for this one? Let me think. Alright, let me see if I can pull this one off. So this is a pose that I haven't really done before. But I'm going to try to like stitch together poses that I have done in my brain and see if I can come up with something. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Muted.
Huh?
Are you muted?
I can be. Give me 1 second. Sorry, 1 second, everybody. Sorry about that. Are you doing live stream during the summer evenings? Yeah, I'll probably do as many live streams as I can throughout the next several, like, for the foreseeable future. I mean, it's possible at some point that my live streams will start to slow down as I create different, as I do my manga, but yeah, I'm going to try to do live streams as frequently as I can. So, I'm just like trying to take notice of some of the small things that I know that I'm going to need help with later on down the road as I'm trying to do this, which is going to be like my leg positioning and stuff like that. Let me think of how I want to do this arm. Maybe this one. This will be here, and then so like I'm trying to show that like this guy is like a, and this is something that I think, to be honest with you, if I gave myself like another 4 minutes, I could refine and make it look much better, and it would probably at least somewhat work. But I was trying to make it him be like a wounded swordsman, and he's got his like sword in the ground here, and you know, his arm in the back is like dripping blood, and he's got, I could probably do this just to make it feel a little bit more foreshortened than it is. But yeah, his arm's like in the back dripping blood, and you know, he's got this hand up on the on his sword like this, like holding on to it. I probably needed to have twisted his body that way, and it might have worked a little bit better. Like have this shoulder still high, but have his like torso facing this way. Yeah, that might have worked better actually. Yeah, because then this shoulder. See, and this is what you do, right? As you're trying to learn how to draw from imagination. Yeah, that would have worked much better. As you're trying to draw from imagination, you want to see like, hey, does this work? Does it look like semi-natural? And I can even have now his head like twisted this way a little bit more to make it even more dynamic, because now I have like, because kind of right here what I'm noticing is this is almost all facing the same way. So if I have this facing like toward, this is not coming out the way I want it to, but bear with me. So if I have it facing towards us what am I doing? kind of like that. His head's facing like towards us like that. This is a horrible way to try to draw that. His chest is facing kind of that way, and now I can have his yeah, this makes more sense. And I could have his leg up facing this way, and this can be really foreshortened here and facing towards us this way. Yeah. See, and the cool thing too is like this is already a better pose than this one, and what that took me half the time to draw, right? And it's a better foundation, something I can work off of, and that's kind of the point, right? When you're doing all of those gestures, like I've been practicing gestures for months and months and months, and now I've gotten to this point where I can start to see when things don't look quite right. Because I'm so used to the human proportions and stuff, so that's kind of where you want to be. And again, is this perfect? No, like I need to probably look at a reference and figure this out a little bit better, but I can troubleshoot as much as possible, and for a manga, I think that this would be good enough. Like I could use this as the foundation, and it would be just fine. Alright, so that's 4 technically from imagination. So let's go to the next batch. Alright. Get something to drink real fast. Alright, let me think here. Alright. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of a pose. Let's try this one. That's going to be like a recurring problem for me, is that I'm going to need to study legs a little bit more, and how they get planted into the ground. But let's see here. We do this. I kind of want to have this leg. Let me think here. So I want to have this one kind of going back almost. Back into space this way. The foot kind of doing that. And nah, that doesn't work. Let me think here. Let's get the arms in, and then I'll come back to the legs. Alright, and then this arm can be like in here. And then here, let me just, I'm gonna just erase this lower half really fast. Isn't exactly what I wanted, but it's a pose that works still. Yeah, this isn't quite what I wanted to get done here. Let me see if I can fix this. I think I want it to have her, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this upper part because I'm fine with this upper part. It's the lower part that I wanted to find out here. Let me shrink this down a little bit. Alright, so maybe if I had this leg come up like this and this leg go back. Or let's see here. Might have to find the reference for this one and fix the legs. I'll do that later because my brain's not quite able to put it together what I want her legs to be doing. I think I want one leg coming up towards us and then going back, and maybe the other leg kind of like that. I think that's what I want, but I'll probably have to find something for that. Alright, so let's do another pose. Let me think here. I'm gonna do let's try like a punching pose maybe. So let's do the thing with like punching and like throwing things is like the body mechanics and what happens. So your body twists, the opposite leg is going to be the one that pops up. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just trying to think about how I want this perspective to go. Something like that. So yeah, you got to think about like the body and how it like. I probably would put this arm kind of up. So yeah, you want to think about the body mechanics when you're drawing from imagination, because that's like basically what you have to rely on if you can't pull it from memory. I'm kind of doing a little bit of both. I can kind of remember this this pose from Mark's references, but you know, it's not going to be perfect, and that's perfectly fine, right? Get as far as you can with the pose from imagination, and then you go back later and you find reference and see what you missed. Could probably. The thing I'm struggling with right now is like my brain is defaulting to a more feminine body type because that's what I've been drawing mostly, and this is a male character. I can just make his legs bigger. Alright. So I would be able to fix some of that with anatomy as I go, and making him more muscular and stuff. Like even just that, I think, kind of sells it a bit more. And doing it with the legs. So I did run out of time, but I am going to actually take a little bit of time to fine tune this one just a bit more. Just so it looks the way that I envisioned it. So yeah, there's something that's not feeling dynamic about this pose, and I think a lot of it has to do with the lower body still. So it's something, again, like, and this is, you can see like the common trends. I see what it is. The common trend here for me is that I need to practice, like I need to go back and study where legs and stuff are when the pose is in different angles and stuff like that, and how that relates to like how the character like counterbalances and stuff like that, because my brain's having a hard time figuring that piece out in particular. So what I just changed, and I would have to go back and make it better, is his hips were in line, so like I had them like that, which is why it wasn't looking too dynamic. So his hips needed to be like this. So I would want to do something like that. And I probably need to pull them back just a bit. And then other things, like, I'm probably just going to erase this, actually, this lower half. Having more courage to just twist the body even more than I was. Just stuff like that. But this is a pose that I would need, again, to go back and find my reference and just like take the time to look at the legs in particular. I don't think, let me think here. And I actually might do that in just a second. It's just like look at the reference really, really fast and see what, jeez, that looks horrible, yeah. And see where I'm going wrong here. So let me pull that up. And hopefully, you know, there's people out there, like different comic artists, that can do this pretty easily at this point. Like, not at this point, but in the point in the career that they're at. And I'm still going to struggle because it's not something I practice as frequently as I would like. But hopefully this feels helpful for you, because you get to see, like, oh, this is what you have to do in order to get where you need to go, right? Mark poses, copy, mark poses. Let me find it here. Ah. Okay. So. Okay. So I was, and this is me now correcting with the reference. It's like interesting because my brain wanted me to twist it more than it needed to be twisted, because this leg actually comes to here and then goes here and then here, and then this leg comes down to here and then goes into here. So and also, geez, like, yeah, there's a lot of this pose that my brain just was not recollecting. Dude, this thing drives me nuts. Okay. So, this is something that I noticed for myself that I do incorrectly kind of frequently, is like head positioning for stuff like that. It's typically lower than what I like to draw it. I don't know why. Still need to flatten this out just a bit here. Alright, and then here to here. So yeah, another thing that I'm noticing, geez, yeah, I got a lot of this pose wrong actually. It's like really incredible to see this. So his chest is actually, it needed to be, like, I had it like this, so like, if I were to place where the head and neck is, it's like that, so we're almost getting this like underneath view, and it was just like the total opposite, so it was like this. Yeah, so I muffed that one up pretty bad, but again, it's a learning experience right now, I know, so I can go through and learn from it. Ribs, and this is too high, or too low. Alright, well, I'm going to stop with that one and start another one. I don't want to see me draw the same pose for 15 minutes. Alright. Let's go ahead and start the timer. I'm going to put in my other headphone so I can actually hear my music. Alright, let me think here. Alright, so this is a pose that I'm doing from memory. It's a manga pose. It's from a panel. I'm pretty happy with that one, and it was done in about 2 minutes, so that was good. So on to the next one. Lights out. Oh, from the punch-in pose. Let's move on to... I'm going to do this pose. I did it last stream, but it's going to be a pose that you'll end up seeing frequently in my manga, so I want to do it again. Maybe I can do a slightly different angle. Try to. And what I'll do is I'll pull the pose up once I'm done, so you can see it from the angle that I did it at on the stream. Yes, give me 1 second. Alrighty, so one thing I would want to change here is this arm is just too straight, so I would take it into this maybe, and then that. Yeah, there we go. That looks. It's a pretty good pose, I think. Like it's pretty. It's pretty clear as to what's happening here, and it's actually a very dynamic angle, I would say. It is not perfect. There's some perspective stuff going on with the feet here that I would have to look at reference for and fix, but I'm a fan. Sorry, I just want to show y'all really fast. So this is from, no, this is not the correct one. 525 here. So it's this pose here, but paste it. Oh wow, that's crazy. It came out almost exactly the same except for this leg. This is also from Imagination, this one was. But obviously took it and I turned it towards us that way a little bit. I'm actually pretty happy with the way that came out, given how close it is to my other one. But yeah, so that's what I did with that one. I'm gonna shrink everything so I have more space. And then we'll continue. I'll probably do. Oops, this is the wrong thing. I'll probably do like 10 more of these. And then we'll move to hands. I'm not doing hands from Imagination. Oh, sorry. So Artistic Soul asked if... I'm not sure if you meant, can I actually, like, can I do them on stream, or if it's, like, possible. But yes, they're possible, and yes, I can do them on stream real fast. Let me find a reference, because that's not something I would recommend doing without a reference. It doesn't really serve too much of a purpose if you're not using a reference. Alright. So, a 5-second pose. Here, I'm going to put myself on a timer so I don't cheat. I wouldn't recommend 5 seconds because it's like very, very quick. I'm gonna put on 7 on the clock so that I can like actually like click things. And be able to draw it, but and then I can wait until it goes down to 5. And alright, so I would do, that's probably how I would do this pose in 5 seconds. C curve going that way. I would do that curve like this so that I would represent the hip, and then yeah, kind of follows through. I could have also went like that, but yeah, that's how I would have done this pose in 5 seconds. I would recommend at least 15 if you're gonna do a gesture, or 10 to 15 seconds. That way you don't feel like you're super rushed. Alright, back to doing imaginative work. Alright, I'll probably do 5 more. I said 10, I'll do 5. Let me think here. I'm not going to do this pose. I was going to do like a pose of him, like a person leaning up against a wall, but it's not super dynamic. I want to do something more dynamic than that. I'm going to reset my timer. Alright, let's do... Okay. I do these gestures on paper, it's quicker and works more efficiently. I did these quick exercises on at school, which only took me 5 seconds. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I can't, like, at this point for me, I don't find that much value. Like, I could probably do it and I would get something out of it, but I don't find too much value at this point of doing quick gestures like that, personally, just because I need to be doing more volumized stuff. But when you're first starting and learning gesture, and you're also, if you start to have difficulties with seeing like lines of action, that's when it's really good. But alright, so. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with the arms here. I had like an idea that was kind of half-baked. I decided I was going to try to fully cook it. No, I think I liked the way that the arms were before. How do I want it? I guess I could do high. High and low. Alright, so my timer's up. So yeah, I wanted to do, I can probably, dude's got a very long neck, probably pull his head down like this. So I was just trying to get it so that it looked like the hands were coming towards us. And the problem with this is that I have to be able to also draw the hands, which from imagination, which I can't quite do yet. But like this would be a decent, like a cool pose because you could like even have like his eyes and stuff like kind of in the crevice of the finger. But yeah, okay with that one. Let's do bird's eye pose. I have to remember like the natural curvature of the body and stuff so that I can do these poses more effectively. I forgot to set my timer on this one, but I would say I'm doing a decent job of like keeping it pretty loose. Just to make it a little more interesting, I'm gonna, let me think how, sorry, I'm just trying to think about how his arm would be. Like, I want his arm to be kind of like this. Pretty happy with that. I mean, it looks like a character, and we're looking down on them, and their hand is up in the sky. Cool. Let's get in a few more. Let's do like a squatting pose. towards us a bit more. Let me think here. Let's do the angle like this. So I'm just trying to think about like where in perspective this leg actually would land. Maybe here, and I could probably lean him over a bit more and even shrink this down a bit. Pull it back. All right. And then the shoulders can be a little bigger here. This one would go kind of straight back, but probably would see a bit of the foot. Alright, and then get this one here. Am I a fan of that? Probably not. I'm gonna bring this leg forward just a bit here, so that we can actually see. All right. This can come back this way a bit. There we go. Not too bad. Definitely needs a little bit of work. I'll have to look at my reference again for that one to make corrections. But I'm fine with that. Let's do another crouching pose, one that I'm a little more comfortable with. Trying to think here. This leg's coming towards us a bit more, at least. Back here. Can make this a bit larger. And the head a bit smaller. And then this arm is here. And that arm goes there. And boom, that one's done pretty much. Cool. Let's try. What do I want to do for the last one? There was this like pose that I did a while back. I'm kind of struggling to remember. Let me try to do this pose that I like kind of created on the spot that I actually really enjoyed. I'm going to try to end with that. I have to like try to remember how I drew this, though. I can't really remember. I think I did here, here, here. So I'm trying to think of how this leg would be. Maybe forward? No. There we go. I like that. And then this one, since that one's that far over, I can pull this one even further in, or pull it out even. Make the stance more powerful looking. And now the only thing I would need to do is just even this out a bit. And alright, so yeah, and the last thing is I actually need to make, I'll do it the opposite way. I need to make the legs much shorter actually, just because it's just off proportions here. Okay. And then I'm just like adding a few of the muscles just to help myself figure out the legs a little bit better. If the knee's facing that way, the foot's gonna have to face that way a bit too. Then we would get just like I said, I'm just filling in muscles just for practice, and then I'll move. I'll probably only do 5 hands tonight because it's already pretty late, but I do want to practice some hands because hands and legs right now are my my weakest point, and feet. So, but I haven't really practiced doing anatomy on top of my gesture work in quite some time, so alright, so if this is that here, you're gonna get thin part of the wrist here, here, here. Then probably bring this in just a little bit. Actually, I think I need to pull. All right, I'm good with that. I'll stay there. And we can move on to practicing some hands. Uh-oh. Doing the thing I always do. Say that I'm good to go, and then I make 50 more corrections. Okay. Okay. Now I'm actually pretty good with that. Alright, so let's do a few hands here, and then I'll probably wrap everything up. Cool. Oops, there's my mouse. Alright, yeah, we'll do 5 hands from reference. Nope. Isn't the hand? I'm in the folder for hands. Select folder, custom. Alrighty. I'm pretty happy with all of these, really. I mean, obviously there's some slight errors and stuff like that, but for the most part, like, there's not too much of a difference between my gestures from imagination and the ones that I use with reference, so that's always a good sign. I think I should be able to fit my hands in this space at the bottom here. Edit session. Add a folder. What? Something is going on with this, so shall I open up a new one? Weird. That's very strange. Alright. Actually, I will do 7 hands. And then we'll finish up. Alrighty. So this is a fist. So we get a knuckle here. We get this. Alright, so one thing I'm noticing is just the perspective is a bit off with my cylinder. But other than that, I am relatively happy with how this came out. This needs more space over here. Alright. Cool, go to the next one. Okay. It's another fist, which is good. I'm going to be drawing a lot of fists in a shonen style manga, so... this thing drives me nuts. I can't wait to get rid of it. I was just gonna say the only thing I noticed is that these two fingers weren't quite right, but other than that, this is fine. Alright, nice relaxed hand. And I again apologize because I know the commentary when I am doing hands is just awful, but unfortunately I do need all the time I can for hands because they are still destroying me. Alright. I have to remember always to do my constructions because sometimes I look at details and I want to just go right into the details, but gotta do your construction, or then it actually kind of defeats the purpose of doing the quicker gestures and drawings and stuff. I found a mistake in the overall thing here right at the end, but that's okay. Still decent. Alright. Next hand. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, whatever, just plop them down below. Another relaxed hand, which is again good. Going to be drawing a lot of relaxed hands. So let me get this section here. Thumb. Get the halfway point here. Let's go with what's closest to us first. Alright. Pinky. Ring finger. Middle finger, which probably and index finger here. Alright, so I'm gonna solidify this with a little bit of time that I have left. Alright. Okay with that one. Oh, and how many more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the second to last one. Another relaxed hand, slightly different angle, so that's good. Alrighty. So this is basically the same exact hand except for a slightly different angle. That's going to come down to about here. So we get get the middle finger. This isn't bad. I do, however, want to just tilt these a bit more, give it a more relaxed look. And last but not least, knuckle here, knuckle here, knuckle here, and knuckle here. And alright, fix this pinky a little bit here. Alright. Yeah, hands came out pretty good today. I'm pretty happy with my gestures from imagination. They all came out decent. I mean, I don't think if you were to show somebody these gestures, I don't think that person would think that it wasn't, like the person drawing it wasn't using a reference. Now, are they as clean as my other ones? Not quite, I would say. Yeah, there's definitely some like indications that they aren't quite at the same level, and that has to do with my stroke like count. So you can see here, like, I use maybe like 25 lines for this pose here, versus like this. Well, that one I ended up using a reference, but like this pose here probably used closer to like 60. This one's pretty clean. That one's clean. These are all from reference. That one's clean, but that's because I drew it twice. This one's a little messy. This one's pretty clean. That one's not too bad, but I did erase it a few times. So, you know. But I will take that. That was some good mileage today. And yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing to do this. I'm going to be making a course on this kind of stuff. I'm going to go back, restudy my anatomy so I can do everything start to finish with everybody. But I appreciate y'all hanging out. I appreciate y'all stopping by and giving me some company as I draw, asking questions and things like that. And I'm gonna wrap it up now. I hope that y'all have a great night. Take care of yourselves. Make sure not to burn yourself out with your drawing. And yeah, appreciate all of you. Love you. Peace.